Hello everyone, I am putting together a quick video based on some questions that I got about the study guide. So I'm going to walk through a couple of the answers for you. The questions that I got were about the marketing research question. So I'm going to walk through with an example I don't want you to use on the exam, so I'll come up with a different bullet. So we've got the bullets, how do consumers feel about the commercial we just launched on Facebook? And we've got a question, should we introduce a new product? So I'm going to do, let's see. How about I'll do a brand awareness thing. So do consumers know about our brand is going to be the question that I answer. So I'm going to stick that, actually I'm going to pull up a Word document of how I would answer this question. So this one will not be on the exam. This is an example that I am doing for you. Are consumers aware of our brand? Okay, so that is step one in the example. So this is going to be step one, defining the objectives and research needs. So I came up with a research question. So that's how I'm defining it. That is step one. Step two. That is going to be designing the research. And what I am looking for here is what kind of approach are you going to take? Are you going to do an experiment? Are you going to do a survey? Are you going to do a focus group? Are you going to use some sort of secondary data? There are lots of different ways that you can go about finding answers for things. So these are some ways that you can do this. So for this, I am going to do a focus group, where I provide several pictures of brands and logos and discuss with the group what they know about each brand and logo. The conversation will be recorded. Another option that you could use is observation, which we talked about in class. That probably wouldn't work for this one. Another thing that could work for this and probably works better than a focus group would be a survey. So I want you to pick a type of research that you're going to do and then tell me a little bit about how you would collect the data. And the reason I'm not using survey for this example is because that's going to be the easiest one for you to use in the exam. So I don't want to take that away from you. Step three. I think this one is collecting the data. So we hold the focus group. Not a lot more you can say about that. If you're doing a survey, you're going to tell me where you're collecting that data from, whether it's Facebook or whether you're paying for a panel, whether you're using syndicated data. Hold the focus group on a local university campus with 10 to 12 people. Run 3 sessions. Okay, so that's about 40 people. Step 4. Analyzing the data and developing insights. I'm not going to expect a whole lot here because unless you're in a marketing research class, you're not really going to know how to answer this. So I'm going to do some qualitative data analysis. If you are in a stats class, you might know the difference between qualitative and quantitative data analysis. You might be looking for means, you might be using an ANOVA, you might be using a regression. really what we're going to do here is look for patterns and interesting findings. That's how I'm going to answer that. In a future class, you would be expected to answer that a little more in depth. Step 5, developing and implementing an action plan. Okay, if they were aware of your brand, carry on. If they were not, what are you going to change? Okay, and you can kind of answer that. So, launch a brand awareness campaign. Okay, these are the types of answers that I'm looking for. You're not allowed to use this example. Probably you're going to use a survey or some sort of secondary data sort of answer. So that's what I'm looking for there. For this question, I'm looking for you to go, say, to the convenience product. I don't want you to use this definition. I want you to use your very, very own words. But I'm looking for the definition here. So use your own definition of shopping product, specialty product, unsought product, and then give me an answer like bread. Strategic consideration, grab one from here, oops, and put it here. Grab another one from here and put it here. That's what I'm looking for you to do with each of these. These down here are separate questions. So if I give you a brand and a collection of products, such as this, and I ask you if this would be a good idea or not, you're going to tell me why it is or not. For the last one, if I give you a product, you will be able to define the core customer value that the customer is looking for, the actual product, and the associated services. So those, I think, were the most confusing of the questions. And here's a short, less than 10-minute video for you. Hopefully that helped. Thanks a lot.